Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts89. Well, not much Madonna news happening at the moment, but something that did happen that sort of made me think was it was the birthday of Madonna's twins. Is it Esther and Esther? I can't remember their names. They're very similar. Sorry. They've been involved in a lot of Madonna's stuff. They've been on her last couple of tours with her, and you often would see pictures of them doing stuff together, and they're very involved, and all smiles and happy doing stuff with their mum. And now I've noticed they're starting to look like teenagers, and all the photos are just like why am I here? I'm bored teenager face. I'm like, oh no, because these are the last of Madonna's children. Because the first two sort of went off, did their own thing. Then she had the adopted kids, and David seemed to be really involved. He seems to be less involved now, but still, creatively, he was involved in the show and that. But the girls seem to be the ones that were going to stuff with her and all that, and the David seemed to be doing his own thing, having his own life now. But and Mercy as well. But now even the twins have grown up, and what's Madonna going to do with an empty nest? What's going to happen there? Because you can see she's still trying to hold on as a mum, like you tend to. And I'm wondering what happens when these girls finally just go off and do their own thing. Is she going to have a really bad, dramatic case of empty nest syndrome, or is she going to then channel that into her art? Is she actually going to maybe make another album or actually do something with some real artistic merit, unlike the Drek we've been getting the last couple of years? And I'm sorry, I did just call it Drek, but when you look at, I recently rewatched all Madonna's videos for her birthday, and when you get to the last 4 or 5 videos, it's just like, yeah, no, she hit a wall, she's given up. This is just cringe, and the depth isn't there that was there before. The creativity isn't there that was there before. It's just like, I don't know. And is that because she's just been too busy living her best life and hanging out with her kids and doing stuff, and hasn't sort of been giving 100% to her career? And will that commence now that her kids have basically been like, we want our own lives, Mum, and go off on their own, sort of thing? Will she actually now have the time to really focus on her career and actually discover some things, or has she just lost interest in her career in general and just doesn't have any motivation anymore? Because I don't think she has a contract at the moment. No one's telling her she has to make an album, so she doesn't seem to have any real motivation to do anything. I know she wants to make her biofilm, but that's not happening because no one's going to pay her to do her own film, because it needs to be made by an artist outside of herself, and tell the story that the audience wants to see, that history wants recorded, not what she wants told, because that's a totally self-involved, narcissistic, and not particularly artistic endeavour, which she's sort of been removed from, in that the other film was pretty much cancelled because she couldn't work with another writer, and would only do it the way she wanted. Well, you can write your own autobiography, and other people will do the film version that the general public and the audience wants to see. You could have worked with someone and gotten your version of that done, but she was not willing to compromise, being Madonna, of course, and now it's not happening. I know she's still working on it, but just because she's working on it doesn't mean anyone's going to pay to actually produce it. It doesn't, like, I can write a biography of myself right now. It doesn't mean it's ever going to be made. And same for anyone else. You actually have to have a studio funding it, and green lit, and producers and all of that. And I just laughed when fans were like, no, it's happening because she's writing it again. I'm like, well, yeah, she can write it any day she wants. It doesn't mean it's actually being produced. So yeah, how is empty nest syndrome going to affect Madonna? How is being in her 60s with no kids, because they've all flown the coop? What does this mean? Is she going to finally retire and just do nothing, or is she going to actually find some more artistic creation? Is she going to funnel that anxiety or depression or loneliness or whatever comes from empty nest syndrome and all that into something creative, or are we just going to get the same cut and paste Instagram shoots turned into videos sort of thing that we've been getting for the last 3 or 4 years? I don't know, we'll see. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I do love Madonna. I am a fan, but that doesn't mean I'm going to tolerate everything she does, accept everything she does, and not criticise, which is what I'm doing right now. But I'm really hoping that her kids were just distracting her, and taken too much of her energy. And now that they're gone and she gets her own life back, she will, indulge in, creativity and come up with something, that can mirror like her last releases, before like Madam X. Because I still feel Rebel Heart was a good album and very creative, and before that she was still Madonna. She was still, but now that once we got to Madam X, once she moved to Lisbon for David, and she let herself go, everything fell apart, and she just hasn't been Madonna since. And I'm hoping, will we get her back now the kid's gone? I'm optimistic. We'll see.